Okay, how you doing? It's Coach Scarpulla here again with Stack Magazine. We are talking to Kyni Scott. Kyni is a Division I football player. He just wrapped up a 4-year career. He received a full scholarship. Thought we'd talk to him a little bit about the scholarship process, what's involved, what to expect, what's real, what's not. Kyni, tell us a little bit about it. Let's start with when they come to your door. What do you think the biggest mistake that kids make when they're looking to get a scholarship?
The biggest mistake that kids make is that they have expectations, and sometimes what happens is totally not what they expect. Such as, when you get your first scholarship offer and you get real excited at that, and sometimes you just jump the gun at that first offer instead of hearing what every school has to give you and the best situation that fits you.
I agree. I think a lot of guys jump at the first thing that comes along. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. I would say weigh all your options. The one thing you're going to remember about recruiters is they're there to recruit you. They want to get you in. So they say a lot of things. How many things do you think, what would you say is the percentage of accuracy that they use?
I would say it's around 50-50. I mean, some things are true and they're being sincere about them, but there's other things that are there to woo you in, and it's kind of like gold in front of you. Like you really think that you could win championships, such as championships, and contending for championships. Every team has those hopes going into a season and starting fresh, but sometimes that's just not realistic.
How about, would you say that they're sincere when they talk to you about what playing time you're going to get? I know a lot of guys, people come in, they say, they promised me I'm going to be an impact player right away. That might not be the case. A lot of programs, I think the procedure is, if they have a JV program, plan on spending some time on that JV team if you're lucky. In your freshman year, you may not even see the field either way. How long was it? You're a really good football player. Kyni was a very good football player. He's one of the best around. He's a cornerback and running back. What position did you play in college?
I played cornerback in college. My first year, when I was getting recruited, I wasn't promised playing time, but I ended up starting my sophomore year. It all comes down to the breakdown of the team and what positions are needed. Coaches have high hopes of some players coming in. Some players are more highly recruited than others, so they kind of stress that, like, we expect you to kind of play. But reality is that you have to go earn your spot, and everything you do on that practice field is what they're looking at, and that's what they evaluate.
So you think that one of the things that recruiting players should look at is who's in front of them and what their situation is?
Definitely. You should definitely look at how many players of that certain position that you play is on the roster, their class, how many of them are coming back, how many of the seniors are leaving, and just how many are actually being recruited and coming in your year with you that are generally your competition.
Is the picture that coaches paint for you accurate as far as your standing on the team, your position on the team, all of that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they want team players and players that will help them win. So anything that they say is to get you into the school, but they also want to have a good program.
I agree. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say one thing that I think is something that's important that you guys should look at when you are in the recruiting process and you're in high school. And then Kyni's going to give you something, then I'm going to give you something again, and then he's going to give you one more. We're going to give you 4 takeaways. I think one of the biggest things is they want to see you in the weight room throughout high school. They want to see that you're a dedicated player, that you're in there working, that you've got good work ethic, that you've got hard work ethic, that you've developed a body and mindset to play college football, which is a much faster, much more physical game than high school. So get in the weight room, follow a good program, and get yourself set on a consistent basis. Show them that when you go to Combine Day or whatever else, that you're ready to go and you've been dedicated. Now you give me something.
I would say, to go along with that, when you come into college and you could be built already, and that just gives you that extra step and that extra edge over everyone else that's coming in, and that will help you get on the field faster. So just make sure you stay up to par with your work ethic and also your school work, because that comes with it too. You can't play unless you're passing your classes.
That's Bob over there you see by Kyni. Bob's our gym dog. He's involved in everything we do, so don't worry about him. I think another thing that guys should do is they should expect to play a different position if asked. Now, a lot of guys come in and say, well, I'm a running back. I want to be a running back in college. Kyni was a really good running back in college. I believe you led the section here his senior year, but when you went to college, they switched you over to cornerback. So be ready to switch positions.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a difficult change. I remember after my freshman year, I was not pleased with my performance, so I wanted to go back to what I knew of as being a running back. But after, working at it and sticking at it, I became a better cornerback than running back. So just, don't get, discouraged by if you change positions and you don't perform the best when you first start. Just work at your craft, and, you never know what can happen. You could turn out to be better at that position than what you thought.
All right, so there's a couple of things that you can take with you, and you can practice during the recruiting process. Recruiting is a very stressful time. All right, if your senior year, football season ends and you still don't have any offers, it's middle of December, don't panic. A lot of teams are figuring things out. They're just wrapping up their old season. They're not really focusing on next year. They're still reviewing last year, trying to see who's coming back, who's hurt, who's redshirting, who's not, coaching changes. Just sit tight. It's going to be a very stressful period for both you and your family. But if you're a ball player, you're going to find some place to play. And I think the biggest thing, and I will tell you, your GPA, man. If your grades are not good, it doesn't matter how good you are. The days of, don't worry, we'll get you in, it just simply does not happen. All right, so make sure the grades are there. Make sure you're studying hard. Make sure your football's there. Get in the weight room. You're going to find yourself going to have a good college career. All right, good luck. Thank you, Kyni.
Thank
my
you for
buddy.
having me.
Kyni's a stud. Hopefully you can do half as good as him.